Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We've been free for you all here on Pablo's house. If you've ever played a World War II first-person shooter set on the Eastern Front, you'll most assuredly know what Pablo's house is. It's like a building complex in Stalingrad. I think it's actually the one you can see here. Two block houses across from each other. There often are some FPS games that are set with some pretty big fights here on maps, like Red Orchestra 2 as an example. Anyway, let's go through the players. We have Muru as the Soviet Union, obviously, without a commander choice. Actually, they've just gone for artillery. We have Theo, also as the Soviet Union, without a commander choice. Now, obviously, finally, we have MJP, also as the Soviet Union, without a commander choice. Representing the Axis. We have Electric Lizard as the Wehrmacht, without a commander. Smokey as Mechanisierte for the Waffen-SS, fascinating. And finally, Arranged Karma as Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht. First shots are being fired immediately here in the center between the Soviet Union and the Waffen-SS. Germans have shot pretty far to get to this fuel point pretty fast, and are going to use this hull of a destroyed Panzer IV to their advantage. And some good shots out here on the conscripts. So far, pretty decent start for the Sturm Pioneers. They're actually doing pretty well. I think the Sturm Pioneer squad leader with the Sturmgewehr is really showing off. Getting some pretty good shots in, and the Soviets are able to really push up. But that conscript squad is just slowly being torn to pieces. That's not good for them at all. Now the Soviets are heading south for the other fuel points, because they've reached it. It looks like Electric Lizard is going to have to work a little bit hard to try and push the Soviets out of it. And while both sides are just securing their northern flanks, which is like a residential area with lots of walls. Very hard to fight in, very close quarters. But the Soviets are definitely not doing well here in the center flank at the minute for now. Storm Grenadiers are setting up behind the trenches here. Those are two sandbag walls that form a little trench. Pretty nice looking. You also see several of the 9th SS on the field. A cheaper Grenadier replacement you can get if you're playing as the Waffen-SS Mechanisierte. Getting a good bit of ground. Taking some shots out here. The Soviets force them back again. We also have the Soviets pushing up here, pushing back the Wehrmacht briefly. Just too many Soviets down here to deal with. Soviets can overman the Germans pretty early on, so always remember that. Let's see. Molo is still artillery. Theo has gone for tank destroyer. MJP has not gone anything yet. Oh, we have a long big firefight up here between the Wehrmacht and the Soviet Union. Several Osttruppen on the lower part of the area, while we have some Grenadiers providing some fire support on the upper floor here. With some sandbags and the ruins. Pretty nice. Pioneers flanking in that large building. Tapas goes down. All stuff going up on the conscripts. Fontoviki coming up. I think Pioneers might want to get out of that building. The rifles coming in. Another conscript does die though. Don't think those Pioneers are going to get out of there though. Yeah. Looks like the Fontoviki focused them down. Maxim now arriving in the center to provide some fire support here for the Soviet Union. That's definitely going to be a lot more for the Germans to deal with. Oh, looks like Electric Lizard has gone for Panzer Division. Pretty competent mix. Panzer's definitely very good to have in a team game. Great coming out here from the Sturm Grenadiers, but they're getting mowed down by the... No, they're not actually getting hit by a Maxim. The 9th SS are. They dip into this little trench here in front of a destroyed statue of Lenin. And try to get some flanking shots in. And with the Osttruppen and the Grenadiers still hold this little street area. So we're still bringing troops down here to the southern flank. We have Maxims arriving. And because Moro is actually playing artillery, they can actually, for 45 munitions, get 3 extra men in their support teams. I rarely see people do it though, but it's surprisingly handy if you just want your support teams to be a lot more survivable. Especially because I think they increase the survivability of the team weapons themselves. It's a lot harder to destroy them outright and just all the rest of the squad just dies instantly. It also is just 3 extra rifles, so they can hold their position a lot better. So it's getting shots in on the center here. Germans are just trying to set up. They have a machine gun inside the building. Might be an MG34, I'd wager. I suppose it's surely an MG34. I cannot get the scope upgrade. That's only how you can tell. At least by just selecting the unit, that is. Oh, Max is okay. Oh, they pinned down the MG42. That's not good for the Germans. It's actually been cleared out. Soviets are pushing up even with an officer nearby. Not looking good for the Germans on that flank. Rifle grenade here from the 9th SS. Didn't look like it hit much. But they are very cheap squads, so you can get a fair amount of them. And they can hold the line pretty well. They're actually pretty good static infantry, which I suppose is the idea behind them, because Mattcasting is actually the defensive-oriented commander for the Waffen-SS, as weird as that sounds. Maxim getting some shots in on the Knife SS, though, pinning them down in the trench. Not really do much at the moment. They're already getting flank shots here from the conscripts. One Knife SS pushing up. Looks like they managed to retreat up here. A bit of a firefight over here again. The Grenadiers have been equipped with a Russian AT rifle, which is a unique upgrade if you're playing as Division, by the way. Several machine guns for the Germans, though, so I don't think the Russians are going to push up here for a while. Because of a commander, looks like it is Motor. Okay. Motor's a little bit good, it's good at a variety of things, so could be easy enough for potentially. Yeah, the MG-34 still doing a good job up in that building. 4 Germans go onto the battlefield, even the Grenadiers. Oh, we have double tech up truck coming out for the Waffen-SS. They're gonna double tech. Also half track here with some 9th SS with Gewehr 43s. Gonna give them a mobile fighting platform. I believe the half track is super cheap if you're playing as Mattcasting, and it's actually that's a call-in, I think, because they arrive with the half track. Might be enough to give them an opening they need. Just need to be able to get past that Maxim. Yeah, killing it with MG42. Molotov in the way. Oh, good throw! Right on the half track. However, the machine gun did get clear, but the Russians are just going to reman it. SS has to pull back from there, I think. Very good Molotov throw. We also have some guards here from the tank destroyers being equipped with the anti-tank rifle. Several Maxims are now ripping into the Germans. I don't think that's Doom Grenadier. He's going to get out of there. He might. Let's see. Looks like he manages. That's good for him. We have a small AT gun here set up for the Germans to hold the northern flank. Those are just digging in and waiting on their end. They're maneuvering on the southern flank. The Soviets are now secured the center. Will certainly be a problem for the Germans, I think, because now the Soviets are going to hold both fuel points. Will certainly show. Yeah, we have several Ostruppen moving around on the northern flanks. Like they didn't lay any mines. They laid a bunker there. Okay, so they're just trying to cover every avenue they can. 2-1 coming onto the field here for the Ostdivision. Tech up chops are arriving now for the Waffen-SS. Grenadiers of the Panzer forces are hiding back here. They're actually stuck because if they try to retreat, they'll die, so they need to make an opening. Oh, Molotov! One flash in return. Grenadiers getting around on the flank here though with an MG42. They're gonna try and suppress them. There's too many Russians out there. Oh, good steel hand granate, but Pioneers do go down. I think that's going to be a dead Fox Grenadier. Especially when the lieutenant comes around the building. Yep. Not looking good for the Panzer Division. They've lost a lot of troops. Gonna be up to the Mattcasting Ostdivision for a while while the Panzer Division regroups and figures out what to do from there. 2 is relocating to the southern flank by looks of it to support. One can hope anyway. Being equipped with Radpanzer, which will certainly help. The Soviets have set up quite a wide front line here, covering a lot of it with Maxims and other things. The Soviets have dug in pretty reliably. The Germans still hold this northern flank with the munitions points. Will help them somewhat. Remember, munitions are very important, Spear. Got a half-track arriving here with some 9th SS Grenadiers. Driving into the ruins of this city. Waffen set up a 4 HQ here for the infantry. The 2 appearing down here. There's a lack of AT equipment just right at the moment. But I think the Soviets have laid mines. Yeah, they're laying TM mines. You can actually lay mines with your Soviet troops if you're playing as tank destroyer, so remember that. So you can actually lay a lot of anti-tank traps. Especially the TM-35. That'll certainly destroy that half-track. Not half-track, it's armored car. Smoke shield. Have a PTS waiting. Ah, but he's attack rounding through the smoke. That's one way to do it. Tank destroyers need to be a little bit cautious here. Several Waffen-SS troops are pushing down here with some cover. And the Radpanzer on the front of the 222 will help against dealing with the AT rifles. People really underestimate how powerful Panzer is. Well, Molotov going out, they're trying to Molotov the armored car. Good throw, but a little bit overthrown, so it only dazed them. We have an 80 gun arriving, but there's some Panzer Grenadiers nearby that can help push armor then. Oh, we have a flamethrower half-track down here. A light half-track with some knife SS with flamethrowers. 80 grenade going out though, and there was also a mine. They killed all of them. So the knife SS Grenadiers are winning out though, thanks to the equipment and numbers. More mines here. There's also a TM35 there, but the TT2 doesn't know that. Oh, there was a TM35 there! Almost killed the Panzer Grenadiers. Very good play from the Soviets with all the mines. But the Soviets lost a lot of units in very short succession. We have some penal troops called in to replace the losses. Meanwhile, the Ostdivision is just digging in and still keeping the Soviets at bay. The 2 goes down. One more Soviets are nearby though. Conscripts are like everywhere. Panzer II command tank on the field, but it needs to be cautious. There might be more TM35s, especially around here. Got a half-track driving in. Needs to be cautious. But these anti-personal mines, I think, can damage the squad inside. Oh, there's another TM35! Good play from the Soviet Union, in all honesty. Muru has done very good. Good with all those mines. No, it's not a tank destroyer, it's artillery. It's artillery that allows your Soviet infantry to lay mines, not a tank destroyer. I'm a fucking idiot, don't listen to me. Because artillery is actually one of the most defensive commanders for the Soviet Union. Because it can just give your conscripts and Fonzwiki the ability to lay mines and build defenses. You can really just dig in and fortify with them. Several Stavniki moving up to stop these Germans from laying mines there. Oh, it looks like we have some partisans in the field. Belarusian irregulars, so I guess we are in... Probably not Stalingrad then, we are probably somewhere in Belarus. Minsk? Is it Minsk that's the capital of Belarus? Oh, plane goes down. This could be somewhere in Minsk, or the outskirts of Minsk, who knows? But the Soviets are returning to liberate it from the Nazis. And some local Belarusian irregulars are nearby to support. The lieutenant is pushing up here and securing the point. Panzer IV F1 has arrived here for the Germans. Also, the Ostdivision is at the Fort HQ here. But the T-70 can take shots. And oh, light 80 gun is actually working out. One more penetration, and that's a dead T-70.
We are suffering vehicle losses. Mthis ready.
So we have to get the southern flank again. You have a Valentine tank moving up the center here for the Soviet Union. Germans are lacking AT equipment at long range here. Soviets still hold both fuel points, which is definitely a problem. Soviets also hold the road here. Panzer F1 pushing up. Yeah, so like a Soviet AT, there's only one AT team. The F1 is just driving forwards. However, I don't think the partisans have any AT equipment. They're just sneaking up in front of the tank. They will get spotted if they get too close. And they've been spotted, they got too close to it. I think they were trying to get close enough to throw a grenade on the building, and they did now. Tank hunters got killed. They take out the machine gun. But the partisans are gonna get mowed down here. But that was also the showcase of how close you can get to a tank while sneaking without being spotted, because tanks have like no vision. They will not be able to detect stealth stuff easily. But this F1 is definitely getting a lot of work done. Taking out the lieutenant and everything. The F1 is pretty good at dealing with infantry. And the Soviets have nothing to stop it, it's just gonna keep driving forwards. There's a lack of mines here. Mountain tanks in the center still. And several artillery strikes. Yeah, assist gun, I think. The Soviets have lost El Mortar as well here. They're losing a lot of stuff on the northern flank. We are seeing a tank come out. Looks like it's going to be a T-44-76. That'll be able to deal with the F1, hopefully. But Germans could relocate some troops to secure the northern flank there. We're also seeing the 25th Panzer Grenadiers coming onto the fields. Unique Panzer Grenadier regiment available to Ostdivision. Probably a very cool one, by the way. I like them. A very good mix of weapons. Scope, Sturmgewehr, SLMG, 42s, stuff like that. And even the improved the Panzerschreck. Because the knife is still holding here the best they can. But as T-34 pushing up with some Soviet definitely. The Panzer Division is lacking in infantry to cover that part of the flank. But there is a pack. Pack almost killed the T-34 there. And he needs to get behind cover, but there is a flamethrower nearby. And the 2 command tank also is nearby. The F1 is trying to deal with this Valentine. Valentine is actually surprisingly good for a tank at this part of the war. But a pretty decent gun. Also fairly mobile. Hans can just get inside the building. That'll help them be protected for a while. Then he gets shot down again. Truppen relocating up here into the ruined building. Doesn't they do much against this Valentine at the moment, but they are keeping it at bay because it doesn't want to get close. T-34 pushing up with some Serbian infantry support, some Frontoviki. Small 80 gun being pulled up, probably not the best choice against the T-34. Probably intended for the Valentine. Oh, fragmentation shell from the T-34 killed them. Like, if you're not in cover, the fragmentation shell is absolutely disgusting. Good grenade, but the Frontovidos die. Hansgrenadiers just evacuate the building and they can just pop right back in. Because the German mechanized troops are also able to secure the munitions point up here. The Germans will have the munitions advantage, but the Soviets still have the fuel advantage. Not that I think it's affecting the mechanized that much, because the half-tracks cost no fuel to my understanding. F1 trying to push up here to try and flank the T-34. Might use a heat shell. Yeah, it's looking a heat shell. I might penetrate and kill it. Oh, doesn't kill it, but did a lot of damage. And T-34 is now in a very bad position, and it gets killed by the other shell.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture.
Soviets are taking heavy losses here. Because of that, the Soviets are trying to push the center here. Hans gets masked up. Mthis is doing their best to hold, but there's very few of them. Another squad mode down, there's another Mthis up here. But the conscripts are just overwhelming. We even have some tank guards nearby. Great assault in the area. Taking out the cover and a Molotov. Not looking good there. Soviets could probably still push up somewhere. Oh, we have a command Stug on the field. This guy's got some good shots in though. Hansgren just trying to hold us. SEGA flanking. Looks like they are going to get mowed down though. That was close. Rock coming up here from the Soviet Union. Artillery being called in on the German positions. Hansgren just have to prepare to pull back. Command Luke's doing its best up here, but the T-34 is just going to be a threat to it. Doesn't penetrate it this time though. Lots of Soviet mortar shells. Mthis has to get behind cover. F1 is relocating to the other flanks. They need some kind of reliable armor, or semi-reliable armor at this point. Also the Soviets are pulling back briefly, realizing that there's just so much artillery coming in. Pretty intense fight so far. That I have that being cleared. Looks like the Mthis has grabbed an RPD off the ground from one of the Soviet Odon squads. That's going to give them a lot of firepower to work with. F1 pushing up around. More Soviets are pushing. Having ordered another charge. I don't think the Germans can hold that back unless they get some more infantry support. They need cover. There's not a lot of cover here. It's the Soviets are going to mow down these grenadiers. And also running straight into a flamethrower is not a good idea either. F1 has to quickly focus on where it wants to be. The upper flank is in German hands at least, so that's helping them. F1 is going to have to work really hard. Valentine is still around, doing some damage. Might actually be a new Valentine, I'm not sure. That might be the old Valentine, they just got it repaired. Jim is still holding north and flank that pretty reliably. A lot of sys guns down here, so this F1 has to be very cautious. High explosive loaded. Doesn't have sight on the enemy though. Smoke shield on the Maxim. Overshot. F1 wants to try and take a assist if it can, but it's just going to be very risky to do. More Panzer Grenadiers moving around. Mans 2 goals nearby. Lane Corp on 1 Maxim. 54s are now arriving. Valentine gets taken up by a Panzerjäger on the flank. Panzer Grenadiers are nearby, they do a Panzerfaust. F1 takes a hit. Rogue topped. But F1 still gets taken out. We have a command tank here, a command J. But the mechanist here, that'll certainly help a little bit. So the Panzer Grenadiers, with all that support though, that made the other Germans lose some units though, is allowing the Panzer Division to push the Soviets back somewhat from this little trench network. Soviets are securing the northern part here again though, with an officer with some SVTs. A Capitan. We also have a Katusha arriving here for the Soviet Union, ready to provide some rocket-based artillery. Command Panzer 4J pushing up alongside the Mechanisierte Grenadiers. And with LMG-34. Actually got some very good shots from that building. Reloading it, there you can see him applying a new drum magazine. Ooh, and that's not looking good. That 57 actually got a very good shot on the Panzer 4J. But I think the Panzer 4J... Oh no, it's not going to survive here, I think. There's also a assist gun. It's actually stuck there for a bit. There it goes. Command squad does pop out though.
We have lost contact with a heavy tank.
Germans are still holding on, but they've lost a lot of units. Normal Panzer 4J being called here by the Mechanisierte. I believe the Panzer 4J is the one that does not get the high explosive shells. Always remember that.
We are losing Soldat.
Afniki out here in the open. Just serving as a distraction at the moment. So we have another Maxim waiting down here.
T-gun is ready for combat.
Also, conscripts surviving on the battlefield. Gonna throw a Molotov, or actually that's a grenade assault inside the building. Germans are evacuating it quick. Two opening fire. Probably aiming around here. Looks like the way. We also have more Romanians called onto the field here. Just trying to get some more numbers in the field to help supplement the German defense. Few more rockets landing. Most of them trying to get into cover positions to provide some long-range defense. Some tank destroyer guards sneaking up to secure territory right under the Germans' feet. They can actually do. They're actually pretty decent at it. Like the Germans know they're there, but they cannot see them, so they'll have to do something risky if they want to get rid of them. We also have some Belarusians on the northern flank sneaking up. You can see the Grenadiers are doing their best from the building here. I tell you again, it's a very good shot sim with an MG34. Let's see, the Panzer Division is not doing well. Stuk E coming onto the field soon. Howards are being set up here by the Soviet Union. But you're already firing.
Have access to additional battlefield options.
It's the Panzer 4J, and indeed it does not have high explosive shells. Looks like the guards got spotted and mowed down somewhere. We have an SU-100, but I'm not sure that's good against the infantry. It is going to try and destroy the building, though. Suppose a 100mm gun is something. So we need to push on the northern flank. Belarusians have not been spotted. But if it's turning around here to mow down the Zappers to come around the corner. Mowing them down in seconds. They're retreating. Panzer 4J trying to flank through. But the SU-100 is going to be a problem. Oh, it missed. But SU-100 no longer has sight. Panzer's right inside the building. Hopefully I can hit from here. Artillery shells are landing nearby. Siberians also call onto the field. Elite long-range recon infantry available to tank destroyer. Equipped with some, I believe that's the PPS. Yeah, PPS 43 and some Simonov SKSs. Okay. So a lot of good and late war gear on the Siberians here. Also, the Germans have to pull back from the building again. German howitzer is being set up though, and that's gonna be the Immergrün Unique 2 Mechanisierte. The biggest howitzer the Germans can have on the battlefield, I believe. Luki has to pull a little bit back, it's not too much AT gunfire. So the officer goes inside the building, probably not the best choice. Mostly because he's not gonna do much. Surprise. Just as a distraction, I guess. Because that building is about to collapse. There's some Ostruppen around. Okay, you see the Grenadiers moving up again. Siberians in the trenches now. Looks like they're gonna try and get up on a flank here. We also have the other Siberian here armed with a DPM. Siberians are very dangerous, by the way. Like, they are very good infantry. Very costly, though. And I think you can only have 2 of them on the field at a time. Let me check here. Yeah, you can only have 2 on the field at a time. 360. Also, if you're playing with winter effects, well, the blizzard effects on winter maps, they are immune to the cold. So you don't have to worry about freezing to death. Because I guess that kind of makes sense with them being Siberians as a whole. They're used to fighting in the cold. Oh, SU-100 takes out the Panzer 4J. No surprise there. Immergrün is on counter barrage, I think. No, it's doing an old barrage, actually. Immergrün does fire some pretty big shells, so... Orders coming out here for the Panzer Division. Immergrün doing its best here. Because of an SU-152 coming onto the field. That's a lot of firepower. We also see T-45 up here in the main street. Panzer 48 from the EOS Division, artillery going in and around the area. We also have a small howitzer. Well, not really small, but... Yeah, the Feldhaubitzer AK 18 from the EOS Division. Pretty normal upgrade for them. Definitely gonna help a little bit. That's a lot of artillery, but this doesn't actually hit that much of importance, I think. But 85 has not revealed itself. There is still trying to push further up, but the Germans still holding on. There's a Soviet howitzer stay down here somewhere firing. They're trying to take out the Immergrün, looks like they succeed. 85 took a shot from Sonny, but now the Panzer Grenadiers are trying to hit the area. Because there's just too much firepower coming their way. Yeah, that's it. Panzer Grenadier, very costly. Oh, cover taken out here from the Waffen-SS. The Siberians can now push up. Artillery even called in too. That's gonna be 122mm artillery. The Siberians are being blown to pieces, but they're pulling back. And now here comes the heavy Soviet artillery. Very heavy. Almost destroys the HQ, actually. Lots of AT guns down here, though. The Panzer Division is still holding on in the trenches. The Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers are doing their best. There's some specialized penal troops nearby. Throw a grenade over the rubble. Also repaying at T-45. The Soviets are not really able to push up further in that area, but they're pushing very hard in the center here. And looks like the SS lost their forward HQ. Panzer J being hit hard. Oh boy. Lots of Soviets trying to push on the Panzer Grenadiers position now. Panzer Grenadiers getting into the trenches here with a Panzerschreck and some Sturmgewehrs. They're being suppressed by all the Maxim fire. That was trying to push up here, throwing a grenade into the trench. Stugi goes down on the southern flank. Germans in retreat. Aufklar gets killed by an artillery shell from a Mthis gun. Germans on their last legs on that flank, I think. The Soviets just need the infantry to push up. But it looks like the Mthis has managed to make a little bit of a dent up here. But now there's an issue 152 showing itself. This one, however, I think this one only fires high explosives. It does have a concrete piercing round. Try and deal with vehicles, and it is also firing a 152mm high explosive shell. So that should be dangerous in all regards. Yeah, like that. Just shooting through the tan. The train thing. Train card. Definitely a problem here for the Germans, but the Germans are getting a Tiger tank. To see if that can help them on the southern flank. More mines being laid here by the penal troops. Good to see. Lots of TM-35. Smooth is doing really good with his commander here. But you need to remember to lay mines not if you're playing a Soviet artillery, because you get the ability to. Normally the Soviets cannot lay mines with their basic infantry. So when you can suddenly do it, it's a very good idea to do, especially the TM-35. Even if it triggers an area, I think the TM-35 is pretty damn reliable as a mine. That was also laying some TM-35s around. Gonna make it very dangerous for the Germans to push up again. Romanians being hit by a Molotov inside this building. Force them to get out. Building is still here up somehow with Siberians now inside it. Not sure how long it'll hold though. Ooh, that's an attack. Hans Grenadiers are moving around now. Let's get behind some cover here, they quickly dig down. But I think these specialized penals are... Oh! Never mind! They got hit by a Panzerschreck. Yeah, they don't want to stay there anymore. Ooh, yeah, they're getting mowed down on retreat. There we go, dropping both their weapons too. SU-152 being repaired. 24 to inside the HQ here. Oh! Ostdivision's howitzer got cleared out. Immergrün has been remanded. Not sure for how long it's been. But after this is certainly on the back foot here. Tiger tank has arrived for the Panzer Division. We'll see if that will be enough to change it around for them. I somehow doubt it. Siberians pushing up here. When they're getting shot to pieces. And let's see, it's still driving up here. That SU-152 is definitely going to be a problem. Ooh, we might say goodbye to that building. Yep, that's a destroyed forward HQ. We also have an SU-122 coming out here for the motorized. Lots of very high caliber weaponry for the Soviet Union arriving now. Where's the Tiger tank? Like it's keeping an eye on the center area. There are TM-35 mines around, but they don't know that yet. The tank has to be cautious because TM-35 I think can do pretty good damage to the Tiger tank. Mechanized tanks are pushing up here for the Waffen-SS. Some half-track support behind them, but I think the Waffen-SS is not going to be able to break through here once that issue starts firing. Oh, right on the half-track. Panzer IV goes down. Stug alone here now. So much explosives in this little area. The Russians are stuck there in front of the Stug. Panzer trying to get close to an AT grenade. They succeed and actually destroy it. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Germans now, but it's been a very good fight. Like, it's a very intense fight. I like it. Not too urban and still fairly open enough for it to be decent for vehicles. I like it. But if a Panzer is trying to get up on this issue. Not close enough though. Might get blown to pieces here shortly. Oh, yep, that hurts. Not good there at all. Where's the Tiger tank? It's up here. Gonna get hit by the scissors. Right on the flank. Oh, and the SU-100 takes it out one shot. That is Soviet firepower right there once they get going with the right commanders. And at that, the Germans pull back. Looks like the Soviet Union wins this one, people. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.